All right, guys, I think we're live here. Give me a thumbs up if you can see and hear me. And Krista, my community manager, Krista, is going to be in the chat. It'll look like it's me, but it's her. So if Krista, if you can just put in our document, if you can see and hear me okay. My mic's a little far from me, but hopefully it'll work okay. So, oh wait, what do we got here? Got it? Oh wait, that's okay. Something else. Okay. Well, hope everyone's doing well. Just so you guys know, after I did my last live video where I was just doing a Q&A, like as soon as we finished, I started feeling kind of sick, and sure enough, I had corona. So totally fine. It was just a couple of weeks of a little bit of fever and lost my taste and lost my smell. So, but yeah, I'm not saying I blame you guys and say you're giving it to me, but the timing was suspicious. I'll just say that. All right, so now would be the time when you guys should be popping in your website URLs into the chat. And the one thing you have to keep in mind is do what it says here. So you can't just leave your link as is, because YouTube filters that and they think it's spam. So what you need to do is just kind of spell out .com or .net, and then Cresta's going to translate that for me into my doc here, and we're just going to work off of that. So before we get started, where are you guys coming in from? I want to see where all my people are at. I see someone from Australia here, Actual Health. Cool. Well, I think I'm just going to go ahead and I'm seeing a few websites here that I actually have a video coming up where I redid some of your headlines. Pharaoh Pest Control, I'm looking at you. And I think Actual Health, I think, is another one that I did possibly. Or maybe that's just, I've definitely seen your name, Actual Health, somewhere very recently, and I don't remember where it is. Richard is saying Florida, South Florida, Australia, Malaysia, Texas, Argentina, Chicago. Hey, Chicago. Me too. Charlotte, North Carolina, Toronto. Wow, we're very international tonight. I love it. California. Awesome. My old home. All right, guys. So let's just get into this. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to pull up your websites one by one, and I'm going to give you some of my feedback, just how I would, anything that I see that I feel like needs to be addressed, similarly to any other way I do it, right, when I do it on desktop. But there's a few other things I'm going to be looking at as well. And I've got them written down here. So I'm going to be looking for if the website has a clear hero section with the headline and the subheadline and the call to action button. And so the other thing that goes along with this is having a fixed, clear call to action on the site. That's really important. The next thing is going to be readability. In other words, is your text too small? Do things just not flow well? Is it hard to read on a smaller device? Next is speed. That probably should be at the top, but speed is key here. And then the fifth thing would be just basic sizing issues. Because remember, on a phone, some people have big thumbs, and you don't want things too close to each other. You don't want form fields to be too small to where you can't click into them, those kinds of things. So anyway, let's just get right into it here. Oh, actually, sorry, before we get into this, I forgot to mention I'm giving away a free 60-minute coaching session between you and me, or between me and whoever wins. So if you're interested in this video where I'm walking you through improvements for your website, I could be doing that with you one-on-one over a Zoom call. So the way you enter this, I've actually got all the instructions in the comments, actually in the description of this video, right below this video. So what you've got to do is you need to go to Apple Podcasts and review my podcast. If you listen to it, don't write anything fake, but if you listen to my podcast, if you enjoy it, I need you to write a review. Then sometimes it can take 1 to 2 days for that review to show up. So then I need you to screenshot that review and then post it on Instagram and tag me in it at Wes McDowell on Instagram. That's how I'm going to see it. And then on Monday, this coming Monday, I'm going to choose a winner. So And that's how I'll contact you, is through Instagram. So again, leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Wait until it shows up, then screenshot it and put it on Instagram, tagging me at Wes McDowell. That's all you got to do. And that is a $400 value. I charge $400 for those calls. And we can talk about whatever you want. We can talk about anything to do with your website, digital marketing, you name it. It's your hour. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you guys something and help my podcast get seen by more people as well. So it's a win-win. All right, so I'm going to switch to the magic view here where it's my phone popped up too. Okay, so if everyone can see that. All right, so the first victim up is Fiesta King Rentals. So let's go ahead and pop this up. All right, cool. So let's see. So first of all, speed, you get an A+ on that. It came up really fast. That's awesome. The next thing we're going to look at is do we have a clear hero section? And remember, the hero section has to do three things. It has to let people know what you do, why that matters, and what people need to do to get the ball rolling. So here, well, we've got a really big logo, right? Which is not the best use of space. It's a very limited space here. So I'm seeing your logo, I'm seeing your phone number, which is good as long as people generally just pick up the phone and call you. And if that's the case, I really would like to see that be a button that people can just click and call you right from there, if that's what they do to get in touch with you. If they were to fill out a form instead, if that's what you'd rather them do, then your phone number being that prominent is probably not the best idea. Underneath that, here's something interesting. I don't ever recommend having your email address just front and center, because what happens is it just leads to spam. The better thing to do is just have a button where they can go to a contact page and they can fill out a form. You don't want to publish your email address in most cases. Underneath that, we've got a little header bar with your social icons. Those should be, well, first of all, if we are treating these as buttons, they're way too close together. My thumbs are going to have a really hard time. I don't even have big thumbs, but I'd have a really hard time picking the right one. And then I'm going to want to go to YouTube, but I'm going to go to Yelp instead, right? Not a good user experience. So you'd want to spread them out, but actually you'd want to put those in your footer. I'm not a big fan of social icons in your header, because remember, social media is supposed to drive people back to your website, not the other way around. You don't want to get them on your site and then say, oh, actually, go to our YouTube channel, right? So I would put those in the footer. And then, so we've got kind of a slider thing here. Problem with the slider is I can't read it. It's really narrow, and it's probably exactly the same as you have on desktop, am I right? So you'd want to make that taller probably, and then have the text be a little bigger as well. So let's do a quick audit here. So in our first top view, we have your logo. We have phone number, email address, social icons, slider we can't really read, and then the name of your business again. And then your tagline, we bring the vision of your event to life. So what we need here instead of what I'm looking at now is one big section, okay? What we're looking at here should be one section giving your main headline, your main, what you do and why that's important to your clients. Then what I want to see is a persistent, sticky call to action button that's right at the bottom of the screen. So let me point the right way here. I'm terrible at this. So right down here, there should be like a call to action button that's sticky, that just stays there the entire time you scroll down the page, so that people can always do it, no matter where they are on the page. From there, let's just go ahead and look at our other, like readability. I think it reads fine. I'm not seeing any issues there. I already talked about the button size for the social icons. Those are a little tight. Okay, this text I would probably want to see a tad bigger. I like to use it no less than 18-point font on a website for mobile. It's just a good rule of thumb. maybe 16 point, but this is going to be too small. This button's great. Okay, cool. So I think you're on the right track. I would just really give that header section, the hero section, I mean, some more attention, all right? And you'll do just fine. Okay, moving right along, we've got from Richard Ezzo, we have precisionarcwelders.com. Okay, came up really fast. Good job there. So from here, we've got what we're looking for again is a good hero section that tells people what you do, why it matters, what they need to do to start. What we have is your logo is really, I mean, it's horizontal, which is good. It doesn't take up a lot of vertical space, but the menu gets very lost next to it. So what I would like is for that logo to be about half the size it is, and then the menu, the hamburger icon, can be further on its own to the right. That way it stands out and people know where they can, what they need to hit to navigate around your site. Next, I'm seeing something here. I think it says member of the American Welding Society, precision arc welding and fabrication. So what we're getting so it's another slider. I don't know who your client is. I don't need a welder, but I don't know if your ideal client needs to know that you're a member of that society. If that's that important, that needs to go at the very top. I imagine probably not. That can probably go a little further down. So I want to know what exactly you do, which is precision arc welding. I see that. But what's your value add? How do you make your clients' lives a little bit better, right? I want to see that, because otherwise, I hate to say it like this, but otherwise you're just another welder, right? So we need to know why you specifically. And then again, I want to see that persistent, you know, kind of terrible at pointing in the wrong direction. It's all mirror. So we want to see that persistent call to action button right down at the bottom, that they tap it and they can either call you if that's what it is, or they can go to your contact us or schedule an appointment page. Okay, very important. Sizing of the text is good. I'm seeing no readability issues. It looks very nice and professional. Let's see, I'm not seeing any buttons that have any kind of problems either. So I think you're on the right track. Again, just make that hero section, really let people know exactly how you can help them, all right? Cool. All right, next up we've got from Stephen Lussier, or Lussier if we want to be fancy, spillmagazine.com. All right. Cool, so Spill Magazine. So by the way, just so you're aware, this is not the type of website that I'm an expert on. I really specialize in service business websites. So anything like this where obviously this is like a blog magazine style website. So I'm just going to kind of do my best to look for readability issues or anything like that. Top looks good. I would say those social icons right there, those are going to be really tricky for anyone to hit. They're like, if my thumb would hit all 6 of those in one straight shot. So, and the ad is overlapping with it too. So, right underneath it, we've got, basically an article, and then I guess these are all different articles. Okay. So this is a music magazine. All right. So I would say anytime you're going to be kind of a blog style thing where you want people to click on different articles, you need to have them all feel a little bit different. So I can see that you have like background images underneath these, but that black overlay is so dark that I'm having a really hard time seeing it. And I don't know really what I'm looking at. So I think there's a little bit of work to do to really make it clear that, that these are different articles. And what I might do too, I think these numbers are referring to like scores you've given these albums. You might want to hold that back until they read the article, right? Like otherwise they may not care to read as long as they're seeing like, okay, this one's an 8, that one's a 9. Maybe for some people who trust your opinion already, that's all they need to know. So I'd hold that back. I would just make the title a bit bigger. Other than that, I think that the text is fine. I would definitely make the text on these thumbnails a little bit bigger to be more, make a bigger deal of the title of it. Other than that, I mean, I don't have a whole lot more to say about this. You know, it looks nice. And it's, again, it's not my forte, my field of expertise. So I would just take care of those things and I think you'll be in good shape. Okay, next one is savvy.design from Mike Sweet. Let's check it out. Okay, so, all right, interesting. So we do have a hero section here, and the speed was fine, I think. It's hard for me to know sometimes how fast something actually is when I'm also live streaming. So I'm going to give everybody a little bit of slack, even if it takes a second to load. So we've got Savvy Design, taking web design one step further. I would want to know what you mean by that, Mike. I would want to know what does that mean to you? What does that mean? You provide webs like a customized strategy? Does it mean you provide copywriting? What does it mean? I want to know exactly. And then I also want to see that call to action button down there too. One thing I'm really confused about is, see where we have the menu here. We have home, about, services, contact. I'm not sure what that picture of the little gemstone is above that. If that's your logo, it doesn't really feel like a logo because it's in an image like that and it doesn't really have your name in it as a business. So I would give that a little bit more thought how you're going to do that. So usually the way it works, and I hate to say usually because that makes it sound like I'm saying there's no room for being a little different. However, with web design, you're a web designer, you know this. There are certain things that are just known to be, they're just known to be, right? They're standards, and they're standards for a reason because that way people always will intuitively know how to use a website. When we're seeing something that's out of the ordinary, like a logo that doesn't quite look like a logo and doesn't fall in line to the header like a logo normally would, where the logo would be in the left and the menu would be on the right, now people are a little confused. So think that over. I would probably, and the other thing I would generally always do on a mobile site is rather than having all of these buttons here, it's totally okay to do the hamburger menu on mobile. Everyone's used to it by now, and it's such a space saver with mobile that it really is going to help you, especially since right now the words are kind of small. So for what it's worth. Then we've got your hero section where here's something I see sometimes that is not a great use of space for a hero section where your headline is just the name of your business, right? That's not a good use of space. You need to have the headline that tells people what you do, which is, take web design one step further. That can be a headline. That's a nice big bold statement. But then I want to see a subheader that says how you do that. We provide web strategy and da 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 da. These are all the things we do, right? I'd want to see that. Want to see the call to action button. I already said that. Being savvy. So these are, I think, the different services you offer. That being savvy text, it looks better on my screen as I'm looking at it. What you guys are seeing, it looks a little easier to read. On my phone, the black against the blue, it's not like impossible to read, but it's just a little iffy. So I might make that text white, and I might say something there that's different, like being savvy. I don't think really speaks to these are our services, if that makes sense. So I would just say be super direct when all else fails. Just clear beats clever every day of the week. Always remember that. So even if it just says our services, that's already an improvement in my opinion. So we have UI, UX design, development, social media. Cool, now we have a portfolio. So it goes into so all of these are different portfolio pieces. Got it. To me, I would want to see a slight border, not border, but a slight spacing top and bottom between these. Right now they run together in kind of a strange way that I can kind of tell, I can tell when one begins and one ends. It just feels chaotic. It feels a little messy. So I would probably do that. Other than that, your buttons are a good size. Your readability is good. So just do the things we talked about here, add that call to action button, and it's gonna be much better. All right, cool. So next we have from Jonathan Mentink, exacto.com.au. Let's check it out. I love just going into all these blind. I never don't know what I'm gonna find. So, all right, so we've got, all right, so right away, what I've got here is this header section with your logo and your menu and a call button and a schedule button. It's a little chaotic to me. It's 4 different things happening up there. Ideally, you want the logo and the hamburger menu. That's it. So what I want you to do from there is, okay, oh, and by the way, so here's a good example if anyone's wondering. Down here, we've got the Learn More and Start Now at the bottom. That's kind of what I'm talking about when I talk about a footer call to action button that's on the bottom rather than the top. I don't always recommend 2. In your case, I think it might be okay, but I think Learn More and Start Now, I would never have Learn More as a call to action button. Learning more, they should just scroll down to learn more, okay? So what I have, we've got a button to call up top. So I would say if it's equally split between people calling you and starting somehow by filling out a form or whatever, I would do Learn More. I would swap Learn More out with Call Now or Start Now. I might even kind of redo the language there on Start Now, like maybe get a consultation, something that tells them what Start Now really means, okay? So simplify that header. And then we have Learn to Drive and Pass Your Practical Driving Test. That's cool. And then lacking the driving skills, confidence, or not ready to pass your practical driving test. Okay, so to me, both of those say pretty much the same thing. So learn to drive and pass your practical driving test. Then underneath it, don't just say, can you not drive and pass? Just then you need to say how you help them do that, right? Because right now, I'm assuming you're kind of a hands-on, like you go in there and you do the written stuff and then maybe you get behind the wheel, but I'm not sure, right? So you definitely want to make that clear in that subheading text, okay? The other thing is this text is a bit hard to read. I don't know if it's looking, yeah, I can see on my screen here too. I would definitely put more of a overlay on it so that it's easier to read, okay? The text is good. It's really good size-wise. Everything is, okay, so we've got special offer. Okay, so here's something interesting. So if I want a special offer, I don't intuitively know how, I guess I'm gonna like hit it, but okay, so okay, it brought up then. I would definitely want something that's going to like a button on it that says get it now or something like that. Okay, now I've opened it up and it's, can't get it back again. Okay, that's fine. I think I think I broke it. So again, this is something you'd want to address. You don't want any kind of unexpected functionality happening. So I just tapped it and now it opened this up and I can't put it back. Okay, another thing, this is something I didn't talk about earlier on my little list, but it's good to know. See how on the right side of the screen, see how close that text is to the margin? That is something you definitely want to pay attention to. I see it a lot on mobile sites where the padding just isn't quite right. So you always want to make sure there's breathing room on all sides of a section, including the left and the right. So that's my best advice for you here. I would just say the readability, make sure, again, here I'm seeing where the white is, I'm having a hard time reading the white text over the yellow. So pay really close attention to that stuff. Other than that, I think you're definitely on the right track. Okay, so next we have from Richard, businessailewriter.com.au. 2 Australians in a row, all right. What time is it for you guys down there? It's 7:25 p.m. here, but I'm picturing it being just like exactly 12 hours, but I don't know. Okay, so that one took a bit to load. Again, not sure if it's me, could be me. So I'll give you a little bit of leeway there. Okay, business sale writer. Get your business ready for sale. Okay, so I gotta be honest with you, I don't understand what that means. I think there's definitely some work to do um, with that hero section to let people know exactly what it is you do um, and how you help your clients again. So, yeah, this is definitely a little bit nebulous to me. Um, okay, so then what we're looking at here is the top section where it says info at, so basically you have your website address at the very top. Not really sure why. I don't think that's a good use of that space. And then business sale writer, I guess that's the name of your company. Um, and then the hamburger menu is great. Love that. Let me just tap it and see what it looks like. Yeah, perfect. That looks great. So what I definitely need to see is more detail here. And then get in touch, request free samples. I don't like get in touch as a call to action, to be honest with you, because it doesn't mean anything. I want to see more like, you know, schedule a consultation, something that's a little more active, okay? And I would want to see whatever that call to action button is, again, right down at the bottom of the screen right here, okay? To where when you scroll down, it always stays in place. Okay, so the text is pretty easy to read, I would say. Um, but yeah, I think you definitely, and I don't know your clientele. Maybe for them, they know exactly what all this means. And if so, then that's fine. But I think even when you think people know what it is, you still want to make it just ridiculously easy. It's always better to write at a lower grade level than a higher one, even if you think your clientele is extremely smart, right? Most like even websites that are made for CEOs, they tend to write at like a, I don't know, like a sixth or seventh grade level. So you definitely want to watch that. But I think everything else is looking pretty good to me. So take care of those things. All right. So we have from Garrett Estes, twobrothersfencing.com. Okay, that came up pretty quick. All righty here. So a few things right away. So first of all, I was talking earlier about how that one, sorry, and I'm a little blurry here, guys. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna try to see what I can do to, I don't know if that's gonna help at all. Probably not. Yeah, it doesn't matter, I guess. But anyway, so this text is extremely hard to read on this image. The image is great. I like that you have that have an image there. But what I would rather, so what I want to see is a black overlay on that so that the text is extremely easy to read. And then, so what we have, this is what I call SEO copy, okay? Fence Company, Wilmington, North Carolina. That is not a headline. I know what you're doing. You're trying to get some SEO power there. You know, that's fine. But what I would rather see you do is do that text as a subheadline and then just designate that as an H1 through your coding, okay? Then what's beneath it, at Two Brothers Fencing, we take pride in building beautiful, durable fences for our customers. That's great. That can be their actual headline, right? And then so you just swap them, and that's going to be better already. Call us today to schedule an estimate with our fence company. And then you're doing the SEO thing again here. Call us to schedule an estimate with our fence company, Wilmington, North Carolina. So whenever you're doing that kind of an SEO play, you do need to have a little bit of a lighter touch of it. Like that's pretty in your face of we're just trying to jam local keywords in. So try to be a little more subtle with that. And then decide whether you're going to do the phone number or the free estimate as your call to action. And then, you know, you can do the dual one too. You can have two buttons at the bottom, free estimate, call us. You don't have to have the phone number. It just says call us. They tap it and then they can call you directly. So that's what, oh, and the other thing, see how the text is very tall and skinny in the space. You can decrease the padding on the sides a bit to be a little closer to the edges, and definitely get rid of some of that text in there. Have the big headline, subheadline, that's it. Anything else can come a little bit beneath it. Okay, here we go. Here we get to some issues. So first off, remember how I was talking about everything needing room, breathing room on the top and bottom and sides. Right here we've got this residential fence solutions way too close to the top, right? So it needs to be like to, I don't know, like there, like that should be kind of, that's how I would have that much space in between. And then obviously we've got just bugs here. Text is overlapping each other, so you definitely want to you'd want to take a look at that and make sure it doesn't show up. So yeah, vinyl fences. My parents actually own a vinyl decking and fencing company out in Oklahoma, so it's funny. Okay, cool. So yeah, looking good. Other than that, I think just you've definitely got a little bit of work to do, just a little bit of technical stuff. But oh, the other thing, you definitely want to make your logo in the header a bit bigger. I was talking before to someone to make it smaller, but yours is really hard to read. So I would make that a tad bigger and you're good to go. Okay, so let's go on to our next one, which is Frank Barrett, myclaimbilling.com. So guys, just so you know, the plan here is to go about an hour to an hour and a half, depending how we're doing. And we're 40 minutes into it now. I'm just going to go ahead and sorry, we're definitely seeing an issue here with. Here we go. Need to make sure it's in focus. A little bit of a. Don't know if that's going to be any better. Get my face in there. Sorry. This is how we do it. All right. Turn that off. Okay, cool. Don't even know if that helped, but anyway. Okay, so we've got My Claim Advantage. So we've got the little hamburger menu up top. Normally, I like to see that on the opposite. I like to see the logo and that switched, just because it's what people are used to. Anytime you go switching what people are used to, they get confused. Never a good thing. So switch those, and then make sure that your hamburger button is big enough to be clicked. Right now, your logo is taking up almost the whole width. So you might need to make that a tad smaller for it to work. Okay. But right away, I like the look of this. Like, it feels very nice and clean. Outlining solutions for your medical practice. When was the last time your practice had a checkup? Okay. I don't know what that means. I get you do medical practice solutions, but I don't know what that means. So you have to be very clear what that means. And then again, I would get rid of this learn more. That's not a call to action. They should be able to scroll down and learn everything they need to know, right? Or go to your hamburger menu and find whatever page on their website interests them the most. So schedule a practice analysis. Perfect. That's a great call to action. So that should be right in the bottom at all times. Okay, so now this text is already like, it's a little close to the top, but I'm not too bothered by it. If I were you, I might double that spacing. So you've got double the white space above that professional medical billing line. Other than that, the text is a good size. I can read it all. The pictures are nice. Looks very nice and professional. Yeah. One thing I might do here, I might actually, so it's a blue overlay over the background. I might increase the opacity of that a tad so that this text really pops out more. I can read it here, but it's a little distracting because there's so much contrast in the background image of black and white. So just bump it back a bit with more opacity and you should be good. Again, that text, I think you need a little bit more padding on top. But other than that, I mean, the site's looking pretty good. So you've just got a few things to do. All right. So next we've got wasilco.com from Yulia. Vasileva. I'm sure I butchered that. Okay. Okay. Oh, I like this. I like the colors. That looks really nice. Okay. And the header looks good. The logo and the I might make the hamburger icon slightly bigger. It's a little small. Market your small business. You've created a YouTube channel. So okay. Um, got a blog published on your website last month. Great. Now let's bring all your marketing efforts together under one main strategy. That's a little wordy. I like it. I think that you can use that kind of colorful language a little bit further down, like maybe in the next section. But here, I think you really just need to spell out exactly what you do without getting too cutesy with it. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. I just want to know exactly what you do and how you help there. Okay. Okay. So here we've got just a consultation thing right there, which is okay. I think it might be premature. I think it's a little much to ask someone for a free consultation the second they get to your website, right? It's like they haven't gotten a chance to know if they want to work with you yet. So I mean, you can go with it if you want, but I think I might rather just see that free consultation button down at the bottom that they can just, and it stays right about there the entire time, right about there. And then as soon as they're ready, they've heard enough, they've seen enough. Now they're going to click that consultation button, right? Okay. Your text, this text size is perfect, and your icons look good. Yeah, I love it. It's all looking very nice. Oh, a little animation. That's awesome. Anything you can do, anything like that on mobile where it doesn't slow it down too much is great because people aren't used to seeing animations on mobile. So it's a good thing. Your buttons are a good size. One thing I'll say is your call to action button, this one, everything else is purple on your website. I want that call to action button to be like yellow or orange or green or something. It should look nice with these colors, but it has to stand out from everything else so they know that that's what they need to do. All right, cool. Next, we've got Justin Sego, laundrycityexpress.com. Why is it not clicking? There we go. It's getting a little temperamental. All right. Sorry, water break. Okay. So we've got welcome to Laundry City Express. Again, with a hero section, you don't want to just have a welcome message or anything like that. You want to let people know exactly what you offer and why you're the best choice. I get you're a laundromat. What I'd rather see maybe I would like to see you do some kind of a really simple photo shoot in there with somebody kind of having fun, just like folding their laundry, talking to their friend or something, an action shot like that. Because laundromats are laundromats. I mean, I've been to some in my younger days, and it's not like you're not going to win. They don't win people over based on their decor and like, doesn't this look like a great place to hang out? So we want to sell it with people in there. I mean, not that doing your laundry in a laundromat's like the time of anyone's life, but you can sell it a little bit just by getting your iPhone. If I've got the iPhone 11. If you have one of these with portrait mode, you can just snap some really fun, candid shots, and that'll be a better thing here than this. Let them know why you're the best choice. And then I'm not sure what your call to action would be as a laundromat. Would it be get directions? I don't know. So whatever that would be, I would want to see that button down at the bottom again. Naperville. I'm seeing Naperville here. That is my hometown. That's where I went to high school and stuff. So small world. But the text size is great. Yeah, cool. And again, for a laundromat, I don't know how important having a great website is for a laundromat, to be honest with you. I think Yelp is going to be even more of a driver for you than that, but it's always, you need to have a website. So just sell the fun factor of doing laundry with those images, and I think you'll do fine. Okay, next we have Ruben Fernandez. We have rubenbuyshouses.com. Okay, We Buy Houses Tampa. Okay, so that is another one. I assume that's an SEO play. If people are people searching for We Buy Houses Tampa? I'm not sure. If they are, I wouldn't want to see that being at the very top because it feels a little kind of sleazy. You know what I mean? Just having that be the big thing. It feels like an SEO play. So got to be a little more discreet. So sell your house fast and easy. That's a better headline right there. No fees, no commissions. You pick the closing date. Cool. That's good. Um, this is feeling a little chaotic though. We've got this section up top that just says, get a cash offer today. That should probably be your call to action, right? So that needs to be a button down at the bottom. And then about us, like that does, why is about us broken out from your menu, right? So I think that whole top bar can go away to save space. And then we've got Ruben Buys Houses. I would shrink that logo a bit so it doesn't take up so much vertical space. And then menu, I see nothing wrong with keeping menu in text. Most people just do the hamburger icon, but menu's fine too. Then we've got this section. We talked about that. What do you have to lose? Get started now. Yeah, so again, if you think it's going to work well to have this this form field right here as soon as people get to your site, fine. If not, if you think they may need to read a little bit more, then I would just have that, get my fair cash offer button that takes them to that page when they're ready to do that. All right, cool. So I like that you've got trust signals here. It takes up a lot of space and it looks a little kind of, nothing looks quite harmonious with each other there. I would probably want to see those all just on one line, nice and clean, like vertically centered with each other. And then, so, okay, I mean, all I'm going to do here is talk about the text size. I'm not going to go into your content too much. Text size looks good. Yeah, I think it all looks really nice and clean. And I would say though, like your step 1s and 2s, these look like buttons. Just so you're aware, I might style it a little bit differently so it's not confusing. But other than that, I think it looks pretty nice. The text is readable. Just really pay a lot of attention to this hero section up top, and that'll definitely be an improvement, okay? Okay. Next, we've got from Hannah, secretworldoflanguages.com. And I should say, guys, we're separating these out into e-commerce and service businesses. So what Cresta is doing is putting anything e-commerce below, and we'll get to those if we can. I think it looks like we might have time to get to a few of them, but e-commerce just isn't my specialty. So we're going to stick with what I know best unless we have time for it, okay? So, all right. Okay, this looks nice. This looks really nice. Yeah, great. I like the header section. You've got a coupon code, cool. Languages redefined by now. Languages, not a genetic gift. Okay, so I would probably say here under languages redefined, I want context. I want to know what it is you offer specifically. I would imagine, my mind tells me it's some kind of a video course teaching a language, but I don't know that for sure. So I want you to spell it out for me. And then by now, that needs to be, if that's your call to action, that needs to be so much bigger. It needs to be a much bigger deal on your page. It needs to be a different color, a bold color that stands out. And again, it needs to be static on the bottom of your browser window at any given time. Okay. Everything, like the text looks good. I like your fonts and everything. And we've got all these different courses. Cool. All right. It looks good. I would say right here, you could probably get away with having less padding on the sides, just so people don't have to scroll down quite so far. Other than that, looks pretty good. Yeah, this is a nice looking site. Good job. Okay, next we've got Robert Bajuska from Okay. Linearelectronics.com. It's taking a minute to load, but again, that might just be me. Okay. So we've got some animations happening up top. I don't mind the animation. What I mind is that it's taking up a lot of vertical space. It's literally like halfway down the page before we get to any real content. So that's something to pay attention to. There's a lot going on up here. So I would definitely get rid of that animation. I don't think it adds anything, and I would just style up your header in a more traditional way. Logo to the left, menu to the right. You could have a cart if you need to have a cart, but don't have the email and the call button and the menu button up there. You just want one call to action on the bottom, like we've been talking about this whole time. Okay, fitness equipment, electronics, repairs. Done fast, done right. So that's your hero section. That needs to be bigger. Like give that more space. And then, so yeah, the text looks good. The sizing is good. So it looks, I'm seeing these logos here. Does that mean these are companies that hire you? Or does this mean these are companies who specialize in fixing their equipment? I want to know that. And I would probably rather see them just be laid side to side, even though they're going to be kind of small, just because, again, we need to save space. We need to save vertical space on a mobile website. They can't, people aren't going to scroll like they're going to scroll on desktop. So always be careful about that. Can you fix this board? Okay, it's feeling a little chaotic to me. Like I don't know exactly what we're looking at. Can you fix this board? Fill out this. Oh, okay. So it's basically it's a contact form of seeing what, okay. I want you to give this a little bit of thought, a little bit of how you can simplify it, okay? So yeah. I mean, and I like that you're using visuals there. I don't mind that at all. But I want this headline to be much more straightforward than it is because it confused me for a second. Repair request gets started. I probably want to see these like I see these gray divider lines in between these. I'd probably want those to be more like this green color, so I know that it's a space between each of them. Okay. All right, cool. It's a nice looking site though. I mean, I like your colors, and I want to see this fitness equipment electronics repairs. I want to see that be much bigger and let people really know what you do and why it matters. Make a bigger deal of it. All right. Cool. Next we have DJ King. DJ King events. Okay. Cool. Looks nice. I like the look of this. But what I would say again is you're missing an opportunity in your hero section because all I'm seeing is the name of your company. I want to know what you do, why it matters, and of course the call to action button at the bottom. Ooh, I like that. I like that it's kind of got that fixed parallax effect. That's pretty slick. The text reads well. DJ packages. Okay, so I would expect, if I'm seeing a header that says DJ packages, I would expect to see your packages underneath it. Maybe that's just a link to go to your packages page. But I would probably, if that's true, I would say check out our packages, and then yeah, just check out our packages and maybe style it like a button. I don't know. Okay, book now, videos, gallery. I don't mean to be that guy, but you spelled gallery wrong. So always make sure you're doing a spell check whenever you're running your copy through your website. Okay, decor. So we got DJ packages, then we've got 3 buttons, and then decor, and then an image. So there's a little bit of work to be done to really lay this out in a way that makes sense. Right now, this layout is not making a whole lot of sense to me. So just what I would expect to see under packages are your packages. What I would expect to see under decor would be maybe different categories of decor with little like image buttons that I can click to learn more about each individual thing. So think about that, and you'll be good to go. Okay. Next, we've got Henak Asrat. We've got Henny360tour.com. Oh, that loaded quick. Okay, this looks really nice. I like the look of this. Henny360 tour anytime, anywhere. I don't know what you're talking about, unfortunately. I don't know what a Henny360 tour is. So again, you got to tell me in plain, like just plain English, what do you do? Why does it matter? And then again, I'm seeing that learn more is a call to action. Learn more is not a call to action. Get early access would be your call to action. Here's something interesting too. We haven't seen this yet today. This is what we call ghost buttons. That's what we used to call in the web design world. These were really popular about 10 years ago, I would say. And I like they look cool. I'll give you that. The problem is they don't look that clickable, right? They don't invite people to click on them just because they feel so kind of wispy, right? So make it a bold background color, and that's going to do better. What is a virtual tour? A virtual tour is a simulation of a real world location. Okay, so now you're kind of describing what we're talking about. I assume you do that kind of thing, or you do interior photography that gets all assembled, and you can walk through the space virtually. So yeah, a little bit of explanation here is good. I would say your text might be a tad small. It's readable, it's fine, but if you have an older demographic trying to read it, they're going to be doing like what my dad does, where they pull the phone way back and they're like, okay. So I would maybe bump up the text size slightly there. And you can probably okay, so see how the padding is here, what the spacing between the sides and the text is. That's about how I'd want to see it here. I feel like here might be a little too much, forcing people to scroll down a little bit too far. Okay. Other than that, I think it looks good. But I mean, until you really address what it is you do, that's job one, okay? All right, so next we have Mark Oppenheimer, connectcaninetraining.com. In Tacoma, all right. Connect Canine Training, quality dog training in Tacoma, Washington. So, and you got a video there, that's cool. I might want to see, I want something that goes a little bit beyond just saying quality dog, because what is quality dog training? I don't think anyone's waking up in the morning thinking, God, I want some quality dog training today. They want a better trained dog. They want an obedient dog, right? So I would lead with that more than just kind of the cliches that you've got here. And then schedule a call. So again, that needs to be persistent in the bottom. Yeah, I gotta say, like, I have not seen anyone today have that footer call to action button. Like, that's a real important thing. And when I used to do websites for clients, that was just a standard thing I did on everybody's website. So it's right where their thumb is at all times. So want to do that. And then I would definitely get rid of your Facebook icon right there. Again, you don't want to send people from your website off to Facebook. Dog training services and rates. Cool. So you've got okay. Cool. So a single session foundations program. Okay. Looks good. It's all very readable. All right, and then we got testimonials. Awesome. And you got video testimonials. That's perfect. I love that. So yeah, I think it looks good. I just want to see a little bit more of your value add, okay? Just make a bigger deal about why you are, why your quality is so high at the end of the day, right? Okay. Next, we've got Get in Detail Auto Spa. Okay, we're about 6 minutes away from the top of the hour, so let's see. I'm down to 20% battery on my computer too, so we'll have to figure out what, like, we'll go for as long as we can, hour, a little bit longer, or when my computer stops. Okay, Get in detail, auto spa. So, okay, your logo up top feels a little tight. I would probably get rid of your phone number there, and I might just put, if that's your main call to action, I don't know, get a quote, I guess would be your main one. So uh, you can keep it up there. I mean, it doesn't bother me too much. It just feels like there's a lot of stuff in a really small space. I might actually make your logo and everything a bit bigger and give it just a little bit more of that space. Like the black can come down to like maybe about here. So it's maybe just make it a little bit bigger so all that's a little bit more legible, okay? Protect your investment. Paint protection services that offer a long-lasting, low-maintenance finish. Cool. So what I'm seeing, I like that you've got a nice big image here. What I don't like so much is I'm looking at sky and trees, right? So you want to do a little bit of work to make sure that the right place of the right area of your photo is what's showing up. I would imagine more like this is what you'd want to show up, right? So do that, then give it a little bit of a black overlay on top so that your text reads really well against it. Then, so we've got the get a quote button, the main call to action. Again, I say this all the time, you need your call to action button to stand out color-wise. So if everything else is yellow, that's going to be purple. That's going to be red, something, or blue, something completely different, okay? And it should stay in place right about there as you scroll down the page. Okay. Appointments available Monday through Friday. Contact us now. I don't know that that's even necessary to say. I think people will assume you're available for appointments. So I think you can probably just get rid of that altogether. News. Okay, so I don't think your relocation into a new facility is what anyone came to your website to learn more about, right? They're coming because they want to get their car detailed. So first of all, the text is a little hard to read. I'd bump up the size, and I would showcase some benefits here because that's what's missing. We have a lot of stuff that's just stuff that I don't think anyone cares too much about. So I want to know your top 3 benefits. I want to know the services you provide. And I want to know exactly what I need to do to get the ball rolling with that call to action button. So about us, you know, that can be on an about us page. It could be on here too, but after all the other stuff we talked about. And I definitely need to see some testimonials, which we have here. But I mean, the fact that your testimonials are underneath the news about your recent relocation, like it's always a matter of the hierarchy. Put the stuff that's most important at the top and the stuff that's least important at the bottom, or just on another page altogether. And one thing I want to see here with testimonials is we need to really know these are testimonials. Few ways to do it. First way, put 5 stars under each one of them. Okay, the 5-star emojis, put their picture if you can find it, right? That's a good way to add a little bit of credibility to it. And I would also bump up the text size a bit as well, so people can really read it. Okay. All right, cool. I mean, other than that, the site looks really nice. I like your colors. Just make it more readable and really give some thought to what you're showing and why. What do people need to know, right? Okay. Let's see. Next up, we've got Sarah Dog Training. I've definitely taken a look at your website before, but we haven't done it on mobile. So here we go. Simple and healthy dog training with proven results. Love it. I help you build the best and the healthiest relationship with your dog. Try my dog training method. This is great. I really like that. And I like the picture. You're emphasizing that relationship between you and your dog. Most people will just put a picture of like a dog on a leash or the dog trainer, like doing the training. But this is what you want to emphasize. You want to emphasize that happy after state, right? I would make this call to action button bigger though, and the text bigger in it, okay? So that should take up the whole width of this, almost the whole width of it, and bump up the text size for sure. Oh, and make it a different color. If you're using blue anywhere else on your site, Do not use it for your call to action. Benefits of my dog training system. Okay, so again, we're running into a thing where it's looking really easy to read when I'm looking at the preview on my computer, but on my phone, it's a little hard to read the black on the blue. So just keep that in mind. I might make these like white outline boxes. I might make those all white. So the background is blue, but then the little individual cards have a white background to them. And I would say make the text slightly bigger too. Okay, now we've got an issue here with this video being kind of in a weird floating no man's land in the box it's in. I might just make that video full width. Okay, so that's just kind of a transition between the blue and the white for the next section. Make it easy on yourself. My services. Okay. What I would stay away from any kind of an image like this. I feel these to be a little, sorry to say, a little cheesy. They're a little, anything that feels posed like that, I just think it's not really hitting home. Whereas you've got all these other images of like real stuff happening. Even this one, I would say like a dog owner is never going to like point their dog at the computer. I would keep everything a little bit more realistic, make it feel a little bit more like this is how it's actually going to work. I think that's going to be, it's going to hit home a little better for people. And then, okay, also we've got some spacing issues, but within the testimonial, everything is coming a little too close to the bounding box around it, so watch that. Success stories success is spelled wrong, so watch that. And then here we go. This text is just really hard to read on the blue. So just make sure, I would just put your black text on white, and I think you're gonna that's just an easy fix right there. And also watch these like different shades of blue that in my opinion as a designer, these two shades of blue don't go together very well. So if you've got this blue section, maybe just make this section white, right? Okay, but other than that, I think it's looking really nice. You're definitely taking all my suggestions into heart from what we've talked about in the past. So good job. Okay, oh, hold on, I gotta get my camera back here. There we go. All right. So next up, we've probably only got time for a couple more here. We're probably not going to get to any of these e-commerce ones. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to get through the rest of the ones I've got here for service businesses, and then we'll call it a night. So we've got next onlineschooltuition.co.uk from Kasim Alam. Okay. All right, so we've got online maths tuition for year 4, weekly tuition plus weekly homework, plus, okay, I gotta be honest with you, this hero section is not, it's not connecting for me. I don't know what you do. So you really need to make it very clear what it is you do. And I would probably put some kind of a background image like this behind it. That looks really nice. And I like that parallax effect. That's cool. This just isn't doing it for me. I'm sorry to say. I don't know what you do. So give that some attention. The text reads nicely. What I might do here is the sizing of it is fine, but I think that the spacing between the individual lines feels a little tight to me. Maybe bump it up just slightly for easier readability, okay? And we need the call to action button in the bottom. Your images are really good. I like your image choices. Okay, cool. I mean, that's about all I've got to say. That's the main thing. You really need to make this much clearer. And then that register button just goes right down to the bottom, okay? Cool. Next we have Palm Film, medicallicensing.com. Another water break. Oh, this looks nice. Okay. Medical licensing and credentialing services. We stream the entire, okay, so I would probably get rid of the big headline and just say we streamline the entire process of credentialing and licensing your medical, I don't know, but just because those two things kind of say the exact same thing in a way. Like just put them together in a way that tells people what you do. And then the subheadline would say, how do you streamline it? Right? Just be very clear there. Um, get a free consultation, apply online. Um, you know, I'm not sure what your main call to action is, but think about it like what you want people to do. And then have your main one be persistent at the bottom at all times. Um, everything looks nice here. I like that you have a process plan. That's good stuff. You have a video. Great. Happy clients is our specialty. Um, this part, oh, okay, book a free consultation. I'm gonna get rid of that. This feels a little chaotic. Like there seems to be like no rhyme or reason to the spacing of these these ratings and reviews and stuff right here. It just feels kind of arbitrary. So watch that. Then we've got, I would want to know what this video is. Like it's obviously a doctor, but is this going to be a testimonial? I would want to know that. And if it is, I want to see 5 stars underneath it. Okay. Why should physicians utilize, okay, I'm not going to get in all the content here. It reads well. That's the main thing I'm going for here. This type might be a bit small, and the line spacing could use a little bit more as well. Because this is a lot of text. Whenever like this much text, this should be broken into about 4 different paragraphs. You know, so